Morning and welcome to my presentation of my admin page of adding teacher through using Vue. I First of all, I would like to say that I was given a task to use Vue and Node, so Vue as the front end and Node.js as the back end. But after spending several hours online looking for how to combine Node.js and Vue, it was really like I don't think it was really hard to find any clear explanation of how to use Node and Vue together. Most times it was using Vue plus Larva or Vue plus another different backend. So I decided to go with using Vue plus a Ham app. There's an app called Ham. What's this app? This, which turns my machine into a local host. It turns my machine into a local host. So yeah, so there I can create an SQL server or an SQL database here, which I can then add and delete stuff. But so I hope uh, the effort alone proves that I really did like look after or did this assignment. I haven't slept actually. Um, okay, let's start off by first presenting the simple task of adding, deleting, and editing. So let's add a user. We'll call him Jerry. Let's use ABC. Let's say 00000. That's his telephone number. Clearly see, I clearly add a user, and if I update this user to Jerry Tom, as we can see there, and as you can see the ID, because I've done this, I've tested it a lot of times. You can see the ID is never the same. The ID is always different because I made the ID a unique ID, and the same thing with this is the structure. If I go into the structure, I made the ID unique and the email unique. So as we can see, if we go into the database, we can see clearly that our data has been added into the database there. And now if I go back into our website and try to, let's say, add a new user using a different name, but I decide to use the same email with different number, it won't add because I've made the email being the unique ID and the ID unique, that uh, it won't repeat to say fail. And if I want to delete something, it asks me, do you want to delete this? If I say no, as you can see, it does not delete. It leaves it there. But if I say yes, it deletes it. And if we go into our database and we refresh, we see it's clearly gone. I have not edited it from here or deleted from here, it's clearly gone. Now let's go into the code and show my work. Now we're in the code, and this is the work, the process on how I got out here. First, I'd like to say I used Bootstrap CDN to make a what do you call it, responsive web, and I used Font Awesome as my fonts, and I used Axio as my library. So I put my metadata and all that here. Then I use Vue app as my app, and if you're wondering why there's no a main.js for my app so I can import the Vue apps, because every time when I created a main.js, I don't know, probably I don't know if it's my Sublime text, but when I went to Stack Overflow for see why it was not working, it was not running, they said I could easily just put my app in the script down below in HTML and just list all my all my methods, all my routes, on all my methods to get add and delete right there into the HTML file. So for our get method, we have for example get all. Said get all. We called our app using Vue. app there, get an error message, success message, show modal, edit modal, and delete modal. So this is our this is our global get method. So we can call anywhere to get information. So our get said, since I'm using my local machine as my this thing is get from this place using Axio, and then the function response, and it is an if it goes says this message, if it does not say this message, all the code will be added into when sending. And this is our add method, and this is our update method, and this is our delete method, and this is our form that we created. And it also works in Postman. I've tried it. So if I write read now, every information that is in my database will come up. So if I see this is just an information. If I go in here, you can see. So if I even delete something right now, just to prove that it works clearly fine. If I go in and I add something quickly like one, and I add. If I go in back to Postman and I send it, you will see that it returns that 111 with a unique ID every time, each time. So if I delete this thing also again, it asks me the same thing. If I go into Postman, since there's nothing there and there's nothing in database. So going back into our code, use try yesterday I was trying to find out this whole thing about Vue. There's even I know that Vue has an UI, which is I was trying to use the Vue UI or the SLI, but it was not really working from inside, so just hard code it. Now this is our process.php, the PHP file that we use to get from this server. So to connect to the database. So this is where it is, and this is the root, and this is the password, and this is the folder name or database name. And I did an if connection. If it does not work, say certain things. So for example, now if I go into the website like there and I put like process.php, see it's there, like this is the error message I had, all the stuff. So I did an error message there. So it's basically an if statement. If action equals read, select from teachers, same thing, and then I mount all this process, and I call all this process in our index here. So this is our modal down here. This is our modal to add a new teacher, and this is our modal to edit a new teacher, and this is our modal to delete a teacher. Um, I would say this experience has been quite challenging because I had to learn what Vue is and how to work with Vue. Vue is like it's a way of creating a single app page, so it was quite challenging, and it seems that in the new or in the current system of things in coding, most people do not use Node again, so it's mostly using Laravel or other stuff to code with Vue or Angular. But I I've learned a lot on how to use other process and how to use ham, because this is also to to get this thing to work was quite challenging also. But I've gotten the hang of it. So this is where my um documents is. So it's ham.ht.documents. This is, as you can clearly see, this is my code and everything. Um, that has been it for me. And good day and thank you. Mm, let's go put this down. Where is it? Process. It is.